down. So it's all good. We're seeing, let's see, yeah, UYU, they're going to start on defense, which makes sense. You have that Killjoy trying to secure yourself a site from the very get-go here. We're going to hope to see that on the attacker side, Savants, Steph on that Reyna, that is going to be a big one, only because of how feast or famine that agent is, especially on this map. You need that Reyna to pop off, and she needs to pop off big. And, you know, you still have the standard Jets on both sides, standard Sovas on both sides. Not anything too crazy here, but again, it's going to be a site here. That turret's already pinging a bunch of people.
Look at all that utility there. You mentioned the turret already spotting some people. There's an alarm bot here too. And the collapse from mid is now going to rotate in towards this A side. 3 players will go through heaven. Maybe a 4th too, depending on if the Killjoy wants to rotate up. Darkest already peeking out, but HorizonGG has the first with the Frenzy. Spike going down, and there's not really a challenge there from Lawn because of the door closing. Unholy though, 2 huge shots. HorizonGG trades it back. My Authority though has a recon bolt ready, should reveal some players, and Vegeta's coming through as well. Up through Garden, 2 players out towards Generator, exposed to Vegeta. The Prince of Saiyans lands 1, but HorizonGG has 3 now for the total on the round. Tyler gets another, and Soup left alone, and Soup is boiled. All around Savants hold things up, but it's HorizonGG with those 3 initial kills to really get things going for that squad on the pistol.
Yeah, it's such a struggle at the start of the round when those utility does not slow down an attempt of push onto the side. All of that Killjoy Molly and turret, not enough to really hold that push on the side of the Savants, and they managed to make their way on site. Trying to get any sort of wraparound was near impossible for UYU, having to expend so much time and bullets just to even take that door down. So that allowed Savants to just like have that amazing post-plant position to make sure that that spike goes off in their favor.
Look at this mid-push. 3 players already walking down Cat, but Savants have the A-side again, and it looks to be a mirror of what we saw last round, except this time Savants have the better weaponry. They got the Spectres, they got an Ares over here towards Long. They have what should mow down these classics. I'd say that, but Darkest with the first waltz here, only able to get 1, 2. Caught off by Vegeta. Win gets another, but Vegeta has another. Steph charging forward, HorizonGG 2. Lawn is under their control, but it's a 1v2 and doable for the Jet, but no. Steph locks it down, and all around Savants, 2 rounds where things get a little hectic towards the mid portion of the retake. They're able to convert both, although it's a very messy anti-eco for them. They'll probably have to reinvest quite a considerable amount of cash here on this bonus, or they'll just go for the pistols. Less of a chance of winning this bonus.
Yeah, I mean,
should be 2-1.
Yeah, if you're UYU, you can't be too mad about that round. They know that they were a gun disadvantage. They just hard pushed down mid, tried to wrap around, get a bunch of kills. It was such an expensive round for a Savant there. And now they're going to have to come into this with, like, a gun disadvantage. So UYU, they're looking to try and get this, like, score on the board for themselves.
Oh, that's a good swing by Holy, but only 1. The trades are going back and forth, and they're favoring all around Savants. My Authorities here with the Sova utility has a recon bolt prepped and ready. Probably will save that for the retake. 2 players coming in through B main. But all around Savants are going to get the spike down. This is where the pistols can still do some serious damage up close and personal. Shock Dart will fail. Actually, it will find its mark on the win. So that's a huge opening pickup at Steph. Dashes away, dismisses back. Nothing heals though. It's all down to this 1v1. Full health on both of that Molotov. Huge! Darkest has the finishing job. And look at that health, 21 HP, but the job is done. However, all around Savant, Spike Plant 4 kills on that bonus round with 3 pistols. That is really, really good damage.
Oh, for sure. This is the battle of economy right now seems to be going at it for both teams. Like, so much was expended on the side of UYU to get that secured win, despite the fact that they had the gun advantage. They lost so many. So look at them. They are forced to hands SMGs and 1 or 2 rifles. Vegeta, I'm guessing, probably trying to save for that operator, as they're gonna have to deal with Savants and their aggressiveness with full rifles in hand. As I say it though.
That was supposed to be a very fast B execute from all around Savants, but it turns out to be their undoing. A good gravity well 2 held the second player at UYU with the mop up there. That was a fantastic hold in B main, countering that aggression, you said well. And Waltz just right through this nano swarms. Unholy, perfect timing on the swing, and UYU winning the aim duels out clean in this round. All around Savants, getting all around bullied here.
Yeah, that was a really good call on their part, knowing that UIU, they had the gun disadvantage. They played that so well, so aggressive with that gravity well to push through and get those picks, because you knew all around Savant, I said it, that they're going to play aggressive here, and they did. That jet dashing through, not even realizing that they're already going to encounter some of the bodies and members from UYU. That's
30 seconds left.
pretty much the advantage of UYU playing on the defense. They actually will get those point of entries in B halls first.
And UYU has been getting aggressive around the map. First 3 rounds they went towards middle. This time they go towards B main. It seems to be a decent counter to how
10
all around
seconds
Savants
left.
want to play, and they're going to tie things up 2-2 in the early going and maybe even catch one or two of these players off guard. Darkest should have Tyler dead to rights here. Not watching someone just around the wall, might be safe. Darkest not going to push this too fast. So both players will survive for all around Savants, just narrowly there. You want to keep that Odin investment too. That's such a hefty price tag for a very valuable gun. Yeah, but round number 4, you're going in all in with that Odin. Better pay off. It did not pay any dividends.
No, it did not. And again, the economy, it's just a yo-yo back and forth. Don't invest in any of these stonks over here, because now it's Savants. They're the ones struggling. They're the ones with the save, having only the guns that they carried over from the previous round, even donating some over to the side of UYU. So they're going to play a little bit passive, which is kind of a surprising adjustment, knowing that they're on this save, but they're looking to not give those early pickoffs to the side of UYU. But oh, that Owl spots that Steph in the corner, and Unholy will punish.
Unholy's been very good with getting those openers. And UYU start the round up a player all around Savants. Gonna still hedge towards A. The suck catches Vegeta off, but training at 10 times gravity is going to enable Vegeta to escape here pretty quickly. A counter, Molly plus gravity well, will not catch anybody out either. Now we stall out in the mid portion of this round, still expect a commitment from all around Savants, but the Bladestorm will have to entry in here, and Darkest is in a great spot to counter it. I don't think they'll clear this at all. Hijinx though has one. Darkest, perfect headshot. The dash away doesn't work. Oh, Darkest got the second too. My Authority comes in on a Tyler, and now it's all collapsing again for all around Savants. Everything going the way of UYU. All their players are here. And Win is so low on health, 70 for Hijinx too, which is not much better. The spike going down at the very least, but Hijinx might just get caught out from heaven. Looking the wrong way, turns back now, has a hail of bullets going back. My Authority drops the jet, now Win low HP, one-shot range, overkill from Unholy. But it's a book into frags, and UYU 3 alive, and now a 3-2 lead.
So even with that early pickoff taking the Reyna out of contention at the start of the round, it was still looking pretty promising for Savants as they made their way onto A site, even through A main. And yeah, I'm expecting this timeout right now because I was a little confused as far as like what commitment they had. It almost felt like a disconnect. We see the jet pushing through. There was a trade coming down, but even with the number disadvantage, like the Killjoy lockdown committed, despite the fact that there was already a cosmic divide being used on the side of UYU. Numbers disadvantage as they try to push through that wall. It almost felt like it was either out of desperation or out of some miscommunication that some of those plays coming out on the side of Savants were happening when there was like no awareness as far as how many members that they had on the map, or the fact that like there's already a full rotation on the side of UYU coming through. So that was a lot of kind of questionable domino effect coming into play here. They did get that spike down, so maybe it was not so bad, but that has to be a very frustrating round if you're on the Savants team.
Yeah, I feel like Savants have been kind of lost in the last 3 rounds. They don't really have a way to go into anywhere. They're taking a lot of dry engagements, and they're losing those out-handedly. And now Vegeta's got the operator too. So things have been difficult for all-around Savants since the guns have come out on the defensive side. And now they're about to get a whole lot more so, as they might just run right in. No. Perfect recon bolt forces the op back, but it may re-peek. If they're not careful, dink onto the op. But what a shot from Vegeta! Steph has fallen through the box. Both Darkest and Vegeta are very low on health, and actually Hydrix and Tyler are going to pick those up. Unholy swings late, though. Sprays for 2, only has 1, traded back. The man advantage sits with all around Savants, 3v2. The spike is down back towards Gelato. And the A site is defended by 1, so is B. It's a 1-1 split here from the defense. They might just have to play a little more passive. Waltz can get rid of that Killjoy utility if it's spotted early. Has an idea where the turret is, too.
Yeah, I mean, they know where it is. It got pinged out, and it just kind of comes down to getting that Killjoy out of the way, having that utility all pop through here, and that is the beauty of an Astra, where she blocks that line of sight. So Soup, forced to fall back, has to wait a little bit as Majority tries to delay any attempt of that spike, but will actually find himself one with that Hunter's Fury, but that spike will still go down.
But it makes it a much more doable 2v2 retake, although Soup is getting a little aggressive early and alone. This could go back to bite UYU here, but look at Tyler's health. Tyler is oh so low in the one-shot range, barely a sliver of red in terms of health, so it's almost a 1v2 for Waltz at this point. Shock darts going under will clear. Recon bolt out as well. They know now both players are either playing in towards lawn or playing back in hell. They've cleared out hell. No one's heaven. Waltz has to swing. The time, it's coming down. Waltz has Soup. My Authority swings. Low HP now on the Sova. It's been halved. The time, you have to swing! Too late for Tyler. My Authority holds it down. And 4 to defuse. Gets a 4th round on the board for UYU.
That was so close, and just the not realizing that the spike was already at half to play that a little bit more aggressive. Almost looking so promising for Savants, but like you said, that HP was like really low, and not committing to that like spike pick. I almost feel like either way that would have swung towards the sides of UAU, but they're looking pretty happy with that round. They're taking this lead up. They have the operator still at hand, even though they initially lost it to start. They had money in the bank, and now they'll have that. I mean, they still have Bladestorm as well. But Savants, they do have 2 ultimates available here, as Vegeta will try to get the opening pick. Does not connect, has to reset. Mid is a contention right now that Savants seems to want to commit to.
Unholy's been very good on these dry peaks. Hijinks will try to use the smoke to cross into Pizza. But there's a double deal here. Soup and Unholy with another great shot. Headshots only, it seems, as Tyler will find a trade. But still, 1 player down for each team. Soup is over towards the B side, which is all Killjoy utility now. 4v4 retake. All around Savants, they need something to go their way. They failed to find any success in the last 4. This is their opportunity, Sedge.
Absolutely, and that is the Reina Empress already used to. They really want to secure this round. They are down 2. They want to cut it close, and I am all for it. It's all about trying to set up their Hunter's Fury as well to defend that spike. They have Killjoy utility on top of it. Well, not like around it, like try and push like that attempt there. There it is. And Waltz will fall, but Body still in favor of the Savants here.
Huge hold here from the Savants. They're making this work well. Soup's alone in a 1v3. Time is too far fading, and I think Soup might just go for the exits now. Turret is gone, and Steph hits the headshot. All around Savants, finally back in the win column. As that B take worked out really well, I guess they decided A was not the play. Got some mid control, got that opening onto Unholy, who has been an incredible fragger so far for UYU, and their B-take just worked out well. That hold, though, perfectly positioned, and that Killjoy utility, you called it out. It did so much to help them win.
Yeah, they're definitely seeming to take advantage of and have had a good run, making sure that they had some sort of mid presence so far. And we're seeing UYU making those adjustments. They're swapping constantly their agents onto different sides, as Dark is trying to make sure that nobody make that mid presence here. But it's all about Savants trying to get UYU to commit to mid, get that pick, and makes that really difficult to spread themselves out as far as whether it's going to be a B push or an A push. And Vegeta, with that blades out, I know wants to take advantage, dodges that operator. He won the hunt there, dodges another by his life as he's going to force back to reset.
Playing with fire there with the Blade Storm. Darkest is going to pop their run it back too and try and push forward through middle. Opportunity does a little bit of damage, but Unholy will finish one off. That's Hijinks gone, and again, it's Unholy to open the round up with a headshot. That's a great start there for UYU, but all around Savants. They've decided to go back towards A and try their luck here once again. They have failed to find success on this side, but the tag opens up into the Hunter's Fury, spots out one, and has the finisher onto Vegeta. 4v4 as the spike will go down soon enough, but they have to clear out Soup, and Soup will not be watched for. Waltz dances right into the crosshair, and Unholy might have another here. No, runs out of ammunition. So unlucky. Darkest falls in the meantime too. 3v2 hold for Savants, but Soup is still here. Unpunished, uncleared, well noticed, but kind of ignored. Oh boy.
Last player standing.
There we go. I was like a little concerned why Soup was just left to his lonesome in hell for the longest time. But I like it. I mean, they bought themselves time. He was probably waiting for the rest of his team to come over and rotate, but they did not. And this is going to force UYU into a bit of a save. They do have, you know, 2 ultimates available for them, but it's not something you're going to want to expend here.
Yeah.
And tied game right now for Savants is, you know, they are playing it so well now, communicating a lot better as far as how they want to play it, but they have to deal with this little bit of aggression over on A side. Here is Vegeta with that Sheriff, hoping to find something. Waltz with a dance. He will win one, has to reset because of the reload, will fall back, but UYU, they're down to 3 still, and it's not looking pretty.
This isn't a round you'd expect UYU to win. They're just going to go into this looking for some damage, but they failed to find any kills just yet. 2 players remain on the defensive side of things. Authority, here's the dash across, has a Lear to deal with too. Will, okay, finally repeat the window. Thought Authority is just going to go straight back towards that A site. Could send in some shock darts, but even then it might be better to save those for the next round. All around Savants, 5 players here to hold the site down and to try and gain their lead back once again. We're nearing the end of this half, Saj, and it might have been a nice streak for UYU, but all around Savants seem to have regained that confidence we saw in the first couple rounds, and things could get very scary for UYU once they have to swap onto the attacking side of things.
Last player standing.
Yeah, it really has been working out for them when they make that mid presence before they commit to a site, because it forces UYU to have to spread themselves a bit thin, right? Typically, I've seen other teams do this. You leave your mid sort of abandoned, and UYU, they do have that killjoy that they could potentially start utilizing the agent's utility to keep an eye on mid a little bit. Maybe playing it like some of the utility, as we're seeing that right now, like that's the alarm bot now in play over at mid, instead of putting all of that utility over on A site. Now they're going to be playing, you know, Killjoy over at B, which I do like. I mean, she's strong on either side, but mid has been an issue for them, even though that's not the route necessarily committed by Savants. It forces UYU to play a little bit differently than what they're comfortable at.
Swarm grenade out.
This is a heavy B control here from UYU. It's what saw them net their first round, and they might just have it again. Unholy's in a good spot. The Lear will not deny any Astra bits, but now they know Unholy's here as the swing has 2 on the spray down. But it's still now a 3v3, but the rotations are over. The Cosmic Divide put down by Savants. My Authority has the Owl Drone going through. It will spot the spike going down. It'll tag Win as well. And out goes a Shock Dart, but it might just miss. Yes, it does. A little too late there as the spike has gone down, but the lockdown's actually out. And Darkest has 1 kill before the lockdown. What? Wait. How does Tyler go down 2? It's all down to Walt in a 1v2.
That was... I mean, honestly, that was good positioning on the side of UYU. Whether intended or not, it was... it was so unfortunate that, like, Darkest just had to, like, run into everybody and their mother just sitting in market, like, waiting for this lockdown to go away. And I'm a little confused, like, why it just didn't commit onto site, but... It's all good. It's UYU taking that round. And again, this game, it's like it's back and forth and it's tied. Both teams get on a comfortable bye here. But that is a lockdown still available for UYU. So if they can keep Soup alive, either to delay any attempt of a push onto a site here, and I don't think they're going to play B this time around, it's all good. Then they should be able to contest like that site or delay that push. But again, Darkest first to fall. Hyun has to feel good with that opening pick. This number disadvantage when you're on defense is so painful.
Yeah, especially if Savants just play the time and really force peaks like that. But Vegito wins it and evens the score to 4v4. That's going to make things a little easier. But look at Hijinks. All the way up into Pizza. And there's a Soup waiting just behind the wall. That would be a bad player to lose for UYU. That lockdown available for a retake. In they go. Be the play. Vegeta pushing down through Catwalk, so mid will have a flank. But this is a relatively uncontested 4v4 towards the B site once again. The last time this happened, Savants cleaned it up pretty well.
Yeah, like... They've constantly left. I mean, all they had right now is watching like mid was Killjoy utility, and we saw that push again. Like they get that opening pick B. They're pushing through both market and B halls. And look at how aggressive Savants are playing, even though it's a post-plant position here. UYU, they're down to 2. They do have lockdown and Cosmic Divide to play with, but doesn't look like they're gonna commit as Soup down to his lonesome has to deal with still the 3 from Savants.
Soup. What can you do? And I think it's just going to be a fade away from Soup. Save Vandal because the money's not going to be too great for UYU Savants. They've given themselves a bit of a red carpet to a 7th round to end the half. UYU are going to be hard pressed to get this next round to tie things up once more before heading on to their attacking side. All around Savants, this is their map pick. That is the one thing to keep in mind. Haven would be map number 2 picked by UYU. But all around Savants, they've been playing on the harder side of Ascent. They've at least secured 6. Are looking for a 7th. And their defense does seem to be much better than their offense. By almost 10 percentage points.
Yeah, that is for sure. I mean, they even have they have a decent enough record on this map. Very experienced here on the side of Savants. So UYU, they have all of these things, and that is a lot of utility committed to start. Cosmic Divide, Bladestorm as well is used on both sides here as they just want to get those frags out. But look at all of the utility spread out on the map for UYU. You have a bunch of Astra Stars trying to delay anything at B. All that Killjoy utility committed over onto A site. But Savants, they're ready to make a play over on B side right now as every single body from their team is over there. They've had so much success with this so far. They're looking to make it a 3-peat as they dash through. And Vegeta trying to catch anybody maybe on the flank as Authority delaying again with that Hunter's Fury, not able to connect with anybody, but it's Vegeta on the flank that finds first blood.
And a bit of a Hunter's Fury tag to into hijinks, so some damage going back. A lot of B main control here as the defense will swap sides of the offense. 4 players coming through B main. Hijinks might be able to get one on this hold in towards spawn, but this is going to be a really tough thing to deal with for all around Savants, especially with that lockdown coming through too. Vegeta has another nick and a third. Hijinks though makes it 2. But it's going to end in the favor of UYU as Vegeta's Blade Storm caps off 4 players. And it's the solo effort right there from the Jet that enables UYU to win this round and tie things up at 6 apiece.
I love the movement that they did there as far as their retake onto the site. Instead of just fully committing everybody from spawn and market side, they took the long way to make sure that they had B Hall controlled as well. Not something that we really see them do early in the round or early in the game, especially on A side, because that's kind of a bit of a trek, so to speak, or if they do it, they took their sweet time. No, they aggressed themselves, split themselves down middle. Down, you had one person playing on CT on the side of UYU, and it pretty much funneled and trapped all of the players from Savant onto B site. They were just sitting ducks there, holding spike down, and they got picked off. And that round really swung in favor of UYU. So has to feel good coming into this at the half with the tie, but. Yeah, Savants is their map. They're on defense, so they're going to be making some interesting plays here. As I say this already, UYU pushing their way through Garden over here, and that's his first blood swinging to the side of Unholy.
Unholy had not been getting entries in the last several rounds, but finally gets back on the board with that first kill. Yoon still holding under hell, but gets a lot of damage taken. Unable to get something but Tyler. 2 kills plus 1 on the shock dart. My Authority trades it out onto Steph though, but look at the damage. A little bit of heal for Darkest. That Sova's not going to be able to get much in terms of healing. Vegeta close by, the only player with hell, spots the Cloudburst, but Hijinks Frenzy out, gets the first. Tyler drops down, right-click eliminates My Authority, and now it's all down to Darkest, who swings into the classic from Tyler. 4 kills from the Sova to counter 4 from the opposite Jet. Last round, 7-6, both pistols for all-around Savants.
They really had a good job. Like, they fell back with the push that UYU was doing there, and knowing that like they lost a couple of bodies. It's all about the retake and the confidence in that retake. And so far, Savants, we've seen them do this on this side, like on this side of the map. They did a really good job on executing that, getting those pickoffs, playing time, knowing that they were on the clock with that spike ticking away. So they did that around. So they're gonna get rewarded here with a few SMGs to their name. But that's a bit of a force, I think, on the side of UYU. Yeah. We're seeing that air is, well, what?
They're going full invest here, UYU, and it's almost an identical buy to what Savants have. In comes Steph with only 1 Unholy dashing in. The dismiss will save Steph, but not for long. A lot of damage dealt to the Reyna. Tucks in behind one of those Radiant boxes, and in they come. My Authority, or actually Tyler, excuse me, gets 1, but Unholy and Soup mop up the hold on the B site. But Waltz is coming, he gets caught up at My Authority, and it's all down to Hyun. Alarm bot spots out the Killjoy. Has a couple of eggs ready to go make some omelets. But that Ares on the side of UYU may be too tall of a task to deal with. Hyun waiting for someone to push into the crosshair. Might just be a save at this point. I don't really think there's much time for Hyun at this point. Does have the swarm, will force one out, but too many players. Good holds there from UYU in the post. And what a force by win. I think they caught all around Savants off guard there. They're not expecting that sort of firepower, and they got overexposed, overaggressed, and nowhere to fall back to.
Absolutely. Like, if UYU has a playbook, that page is called Run and Gun, because nobody was expecting it, like you said. They're running around with their own Ares. They had their own SMGs. They're even upgrading this time around with a Phantom Hero rifle on their side to make sure that this round stays in their favor after such an expensive, but you know what? Absolutely paying off here as, again, can't even finish any thought. It's barely a few seconds in, and Savants, they're down to 1 as Hyun forced to fall and hide somewhere. UYU, they're going to claim this round. Good lord.
They're going to claim it with a
planted.
statement. They just
Bot
put
comes
their
back.
flag down on the opposing team's logo right there on the 50-yard line. That is... wow, that was a round. Just the aggression came out from all around Savants, and UYU just said, well, you know what, we'll just hold mouse one better. It worked out well.
For sure, and I liked it. I don't think Savants are going to be ready for this aggression that they're going to have to deal with, so some adjustments on their part really needs to happen. They could either start falling back a little bit, play with their utility, just handle and deal with this aggression with retakes, numbers in their favor, or maybe meet aggression with aggression of their own. It's kind of curious. I mean, yeah, they had the gun disadvantage that round, but this time around they are rocking it. They'll have Phantoms, they'll have the Operator, hopefully trying to slow down that aggression, because that is what the Operator does really well at. And honestly, look at where everybody's postured. They called it. Both sides, they know that B is going to be the play this time around, and this is going to be a bloodbath, Boggs. I'm ready.
B-side bloodbath about to begin. Hijinks opt to start things off. A swing from Darkest actually takes out Steph, and here the run it backs, but activated Hijink able to trade onto Soup. But here comes Darkest getting some information, slowed down, but will continue moving forward. Tyler has to keep an eye on that Phoenix. Now the run it back has ended its lifespan, and Tyler swings for make it two. Unholy trades, but Hijink still around, trying to make something happen. Waltz is rotating into Hijinks, finally felled. Good curveball out from Darkest, but Yoon is there for the trade. Unholy Operator in hand, 1v1 against the Killjoy. Has the spike to plant, but a lot of time to work with. That could go against the Astra, though. Unholy still faking things, swaps to a Spectre. Activating utility, finally sticking that spike, and Yoon will make the move. No. Yoon now finally starting to work out through the spawn angle. Unholy keeping a good eye on things, but I think Unholy's made the sound. Jumps up, caught out by Yoon. Timing works out for the Killjoy, and we go back to a tie ball game here, 8-8.
My God, that little alleyway was just jet smokes and spray and pray. Everybody try to shoot each other. There was definitely, like, even seeing on this replay, like, that was a good opening pick on Hijinks, but it already, with the run it back being used to push themselves backwards, it almost was looking very scary for Savant, but they got their bodies, they got the trades, and yeah, you know, if you're religious, you pray to your God and say, thank you for keeping an eye out, Guardian Angel, and looking to see if they can repeat things again here as UYU. They're going to have to adjust a little bit. This time around, they're spreading themselves out. They want to do a bit of a mid-control play here as we see both of their split 2-2 onto mid as they slowly make their way up to short.
Slow and steady now, change of pace from UYU. But all around Savants did take a lot of economic damage in that last round, only surviving with one player. They do still have an op, but they have a Bulldog on another player. It's not the best of buys. Could be a lot worse, though. And it's a bit of a swing round where both teams can reset the other. UYU, this mid-control, a little more shallow than I think they would like. But that Astra utility from all around Savants is keeping them at bay for now. The group up, though, from UYU seems to be the play as we tick down to 50 seconds on the clock. Curveball from Darkest to start it off, and now we'll start to explode on towards this B site. More players will charge, Cosmic Divide activated, and I think all around Savants have to know what's happening here. But poor Reyna in the back of Boathouse. Ooh, the tag actually from Tyler could make things happen. Vegeta walking right in. Steph has one on the Guardian. Swings out, headshot. Make it 3! Steph knocking him down and looking for more. Darkest holding, waiting. Has the Astra moving in, but that Cosmic Divide has done nothing for them. Tyler walks right into Darkest, but now they know where the Phoenix is still hiding. Steph is ready. Steph is waiting. Flame wall up. Lear is out. Waltz falls. Hijinks is dead. Steph is still alive here in the back of Boathouse, and Yoon is out. Just behind the box. Has one. Steph has a 4K. 3 headshots, 2 with the Guardian, 3 kills with the Guardian. That is a Guardian clinic right there from Steph.
Steph, manages to like just sit in that tiny sliver of a corner and just destroy everybody in short. That was so well done. It was looking very hairy for him back there, and it ended up working out in their favor. Manages to just rock out, getting that 4K. And yeah, I don't blame UYU here that they're gonna try and make an attempt to maybe do something on A site instead.
Yeah. They've been stonewalled there on B from one lonely Reyna. With a Guardian, no less. It's not like that was a Phantom or a Vandal, that was a Guardian. Oh, Ares
Tyler. That was nice.
Yeah, it was. Good tag onto Tyler. Ares did some damage with the Owl. Drone is out now to get the information. Spike will make its way on towards the site, gonna plant towards Jenny. Rotations are in. The Ares continues to spam down. Shock darts fail to find a mark. Hyun has a lockdown available though. Finally gonna place this down, it seems. And that radius is really, really good. In comes a counter Hunter's Fear to try and shut down the lockdown. It does accomplish its goal. Waltz 1-for-1. Hijinks has another. Hyun shuts down the run it back. Darkest follows soon after, but My Authority still alive with Soup. Soup coming in, tossing down an Nano Swarm. Time, not yet a problem just yet, but Soup is. Hyun has to 1v1. My Authority versus Hyun. And My Authority hits the spray with a Vandal. 9-9. Both these teams going punch for punch. No one yielding a step. We're tied up once again. This has been a game of very, very even play overall. No one really able to get much of an advantage here. All around Savants, maybe relinquishing the lead here as their buy is going to be a bit abysmal. They'll have a hero rifle and a Marshall for Hyun. The rest of the squad should sit just about on classics. Light shields across 3.
Look at how they're playing this right now. They pretty much abandoned B. They want to push through mid with that Blade Storm to start. And Hijinks, he's going to run into the rest of UYU here already. That's a big tag. Trying to see if they can make something happen there. That's not going to work. It's Unholy. Picks him from the sky.
Yeah, a bit over-aggressive there from Hijinks. Pays for it with his life. Steph only gets 1. The Marshal now trying to get some damage done. And they'll go, trying to charge through. There's a Vandal in hand, but Darkest has Tyler dead to rights. Waltz through the fire and the flames. Will head down the river Styx. And Hyun finished off by Darkest. A clean anti-half buy, anti-weird buy for UYU, and all around Savants are going to call another timeout here. They've been using their timeouts well. That's one thing to note for the squad. They've called their timeouts. They have worked for them. But the margin's growing thin. That margin for error is now to 2 rounds as UYU grab double digits first and are now 3 rounds away from taking their opponent's map pick to kick this series off.
Absolutely. I mean, they do have the Empress to play with, as well as the Cosmic Divide coming into this round with their guns in play. I can completely understand why, with their save round from last round, that they wanted to play aggressive. It was just a little bit unfortunate that Astra utility is so frustrating to deal with when you just cannot see where anybody is. But I can understand that they're trying to get those picks. Now, it comes down to adjusting to how UYU, they've ticked a little bit, where they play a little slow to start, but they are so aggressive when they push onto a site and commit to it. So it almost feels like Savant, they have to figure out to start like how they want to do this. And I almost feel like maybe having someone try to figure out or get an idea, get some information maybe through mid, or I like this like aggression through B halls to see if anybody's here, and then force like a quick rotation over to help the rest of their team onto A, because A seems to be the play this time around, and it's a very rare so far that UYU does a fake of sorts. They seem to like to commit when they push through and use all of that utility.
This is a crunch. This is B aggressions leading right into the cap play. Waltz has 2, and Hyun has the next. My Authority droning out from the wine side of things. But I think UYU are going to need a tall glass of wine after that round. They are reeling absolutely obliterated there by the cat hold, plus the info push down from B. Perfect play there from all around Savants, reading that round flawlessly. Now it's just a matter of time before UYU are scooped up.
Player standing.
Soup is the first to be ladled away. My authority will just do what damage you can. Not much damage, I don't think, for my authority, but a kill or two could go a little bit of ways for the confidence, get that ult charged up a little bit more, and thin the economy for all around Savants a little bit.
Oh man, that proper crosshair placement, so rewarding. And that's kind of the issue, right? When you are, as my authority will attempt to get that spike down, they are just delaying. Now he's just looking for heads. It doesn't matter. This is tying it up for Savant. A big round for them, and big round over at short. Like I was saying, that is a funnel that you have to be careful with, right? You're essentially pushing together as a group. So you're either mowing down whoever is holding short like that, but that was two of Savants holding down short together. They got they didn't even need to trade. It was just finding those heads, because guess what, UYU, they just lined up perfectly for them and gave them those kills. They just dropped like flies. Now, we do still have those two ultimates available for Savant here to try and make something happen, but I am sure UYU, with their own Cosmic Divide, as well as a bunch of ultimates available to go with like either an orb or a kill, both from Soup and Vegeta, they definitely could make something happen here. And for the most part, I like that they're positioning in A, because that ultimate orb on A site is definitely a lot easier for them to secure for those players. As I say it though, they're gonna run that spike all the way to the other side, and I'm curious to see what spooked them as far as their conversation goes.
I feel like this is a tech pause.
Oh, okay, so they're just...
Yeah.
I see, okay, I gotcha. Okay, it is then. So makes sense that, yeah, you don't want to give away positions as far as where you're placing, so you run around the map. But if that was me, it doesn't matter which side, get an orb for Soup on top of your Cosmic Divide that Unholy already has, because that will open up A site. And not necessarily A site, but A site for them if they want to push it, which is going to be A site. God, that actually is kind of hard to say.
English is a great language. When you can have a sentence that has 4 hads in a row, you know it's great.
Oh, for sure.
The car he had trouble. English with Boggs here as Waltz has the run it back down, but A site relatively open and free for the taking here for UYU. Vegeta dropped though by Hijinks, clone killed, and now the retake is going to be on in full force. All 5 players for all around Savants collapsing here on the A side. Locked down, put down by UYU to try and hold this back, but Hijinks has another kill. Tyler mowing down one through the wall with the Odin. Unholy trades one back, but only one. Soup has to cook here, but no, Soup is the one on the flames, and all around Savants get back around. They grab the lead once again, and I need to see UYU's economy here. I need to see what it's like, because all around Savants could grab a 12 for relatively free, and that's where they get to map point. That's where things get scary, Sag. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, come on.
Yeah, this is Savant's map, as far as like they have a decent enough record on it, and it's really showing right here. Again, it's one of those things where we have no problem giving up this site if this is where you want to push through. We hear that run it back being committed. You're gonna have to deal with all of our Astra smokes and utility trying to push through the site. They didn't even really commit anything, and now Savants, they have 3 ultimates still available for them that they can use. Meanwhile, UYU, they couldn't even commit the Cosmic Divide to protect that spike down, and they just fell like flies on that site. So they're a little bit frazzled here as far as where they want to play and commit. They're no longer doing their push as 5, and let's see how it goes. But they are deep at mid. It doesn't matter, the Waltz will punish that as darkest first to fall.
Vegeta so aggressive out towards defensive spawn, has the Blade Storm out. Waltz hears some footsteps, but the Kunai will find a frag. Let's see if Hijinks can hold things down elsewhere as Hyun eliminates Vegeta, the one real snake in the grass. Steph has
down
first.
B.
This double up in towards B main, paying dividends early on.
remaining.
Soup trades, but Steph is right back for one more. An unholy, a very unholy distance away from the spike, so far removed. I don't think there's much the Astra can do here. It should be a 12th for all-around Savants. It's going to come down to the next round. If UYU can stay alive here on map number 1,
30
or if we
seconds
head
left.
to Haven with all-around Savants up 1-0.
Yeah, they have that crossfire set up for Unholy, and I mean, he wants to die since he couldn't find any guns to take over for the next round, but you have to be frustrated here that it's match point in favor of Savant, and all of your plays, your attempts for aggression have now been read and adjusted. And I almost feel like with Savants using their tacks, like maybe UYU could potentially do the same, slow down this 3-round streak that Savants has and do some sort of adjustment. But it's a 4-1 split. And are they gonna try and do this short play again where they got punished last time?
I think so. I think that's where they want to go. They're using some Astra utility to make sure there's nobody there. But look at this Killjoy utility disposition. The swarms are here. There's also an Astra Star. That activates a gravity well. Bad times there for UYU. They will deal with that utility by causing it to be activated. And they might think better of this. And I think they should. This is a very telegraphed play.
Yeah, when you're not seeing anybody contesting your push on short, this is what Savants does, right? They just fall back. They're like, you want the side, take it. We'll clean you up after. And that really has UYU questioning where they want to commit. Because they know that there's some sort of adjustments being made right now on the side of Savants. And this is a Cosmic Divide used. Both sides like kind of remove vision here to kind of question maybe what side it's going to be. But that spike, or initially making its way onto B side, doesn't even want to commit. They're falling back, and that's 30 seconds on the clock.
Comes down to Hune here. If Savants have an easy chance at this round, and Unholy punishes, that's the round. All around Savants might just save. There is really no reason to contest this round at this point. They are just going to die. A 5-player hold for UYU. It's going to be incredibly hard to come back from. And I think we will see a max 24-round map, at least 24 rounds. Good chance we hit to overtime here with the way the momentum has been swinging in this game. Save that op, save something, save the guns. No, they're getting mowed down here.
Oh,
the op has been recovered by Tyler. That's at the cost of the Odin too. Oh, this is... That's why I said just save it. You're not going to get anything good here.
Ooh, you're not a jet. You can't dash.
Oof.
Has to hurt. But you know, again, honestly, that was a chef's kiss of a Cosmic Divide wall from Unholy. It blocked off line of sight from all of spawn. So both B side, both A and A side got blocked off. So nobody from Savants actually knew which site was going to be committed. You're hearing bodies over on A, you're hearing bodies over on B, and that's been their strength so far, right? Has been, let's do our retake as a team. But their team was spread out, and they got picked off. And that was a good reset, even with 30 seconds left on the clock for the side of UYU, to be able to say, hey, you know what? B is going to be an issue. Let's take it to A. And just like that, with that pick as well, taking out Hune, it was well executed on their part.
It was indeed, and now there's a chance for overtime for UYU and all around Savants. How do you hold this down? You have 4 ultimates. The one you're missing is a Blade Storm, and you're 1 ult point away from unlocking that. You could have all 5 available, but it's going to be a lockdown fake from UYU. They're faking Sag. They have not faked this entire game, basically.
They have not.
But look at this mid push.
Oh, they had to have heard that, though.
Joke's over.
Look at all this mid-controlled information here. Look at Hijinks all the way down, eliminates my authority. They know the play is up. Vegeta might be on top of the generator, but think that this is a good read from all around Savants. They should have this round unless UYU decide to rotate around. Soup's going to walk
30
right
seconds
into
left.
Waltz. Yes, indeed. Waltz is ready for this. Headshot delivered. The spike's going to go down here. That's going to be a collapse onto the A site. Hunter's Fury already canceling the spike plant. Look at the lack of time already here. Unholy might have one lockdown initiated by all around Savants. Time is dwindling. Unholy and Vegeta, though, thinning out the defense, making it to a 3v2. They have the advantage of collapsing, but here come the blades! Hijinks only one. Steph Empress out. Needs to find these kills. The spike is down. Planet for the Heaven players. Unholy. Dangerously low. Off the spike. Headshot one. Headshot boom! Steph wins it all, and all around Savants in the 24th round are able to pick this one up. It was their map pick, but